Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome to Monday Mailbox, the series where I take your questions and try my best to answer them in the next episode. So let's start with the questions that I've had over the videos the last few weeks, and the one that was on the Monday Mailbox from last week. So we have the first question. I've been talking a lot about camouflages over the last few days, and I thought that cloaking would come up. So basically being able to cloak your ship from being able to be seen, so basically maybe turning it invisible. And the question was, do you think it'll be in the game? Do you think it'll be a good idea? Well, to be honest, I wouldn't really like to see this being in the game at all. Being able to just go invisible or cloak your ship, maybe cloak it from radar or something, if there's radar or anything like that in the game, to make it stealth like that. Maybe there'll be a way of building stuff that's more stealthy than others, like low profile sort of angular ships like you see in stealth fighters. But like something that just turns you invisible, I think would just be ridiculous, because you can imagine like a massive ship, someone puts on an invisibility generator and they just cruise right past you, turn everything on, and then you're blown away. But okay, moving on to the next question anyway. If you're wondering what's in the background, this is basically a frigate that I've been working on. I'm trying to get these turrets a bit more mobile, a bit more vulnerable, well, not vulnerable, a bit more working and mechanically sound. So basically they've got turning and they've got up and down motion, and then I'm just trying to work out what the best way to arm them with as well. So in these I've got some little ship rockets, but I've also got some warhead based munitions in some of them as well. So I'm just experimenting and trying my best. If you're wondering what this camouflage is as well, it's the new heavy block. So that is something interesting that you'll be seeing very soon as well. I'll get onto that a bit more in another episode though. So moving on to the next question, let's talk about warheads and weaponry, since I've been looking at them just now. So warheads and weaponry, the question was basically, will these little turrets be the only weapons that will be available for large ships? Well, I was thinking about this and I was thinking, right, they give us the warhead block, so maybe they want us to construct our own weapons of mass destruction, our own sort of big style weapons, rather than give us pre-constructed sort of cannon devices like these that'll do a lot of damage. Because I think maybe making your own would be good, but I clearly can tell by these they look like they're only going to be some sort of defensive armament that's going to stop enemy fighters and other little things getting close to your ship, because they're just not big enough. I mean, they're one block basically, and I don't know how much damage they'll do, of course, but they won't do anything compared to the warhead. And if people start making their torpedoes with warheads, there's going to be some serious damage to be done. So I hope that answers that question. So I definitely think there'll be some more sort of weapons, maybe not like nuclear missile cannons or massive laser cannons, but there might be some sort of bigger turret. So moving on to communication. So someone also asked about communication. How do I think people will be able to communicate on the multiplayer? Well, obviously I don't know, but you would clearly need some sort of VoIP or radio system, some sort of object that you could pick up and be able to communicate with other people, because there'd be nothing worse than bumping into someone in space and then having to text chat them in the bottom of the game. So some sort of VoIP, maybe some sort of radio that you can communicate in game. Obviously people will be on TeamSpeak, people will be communicating that way anyway, but I mean, obviously for them people that don't have access to that sort of thing, that might be something that might be implemented. So moving on to the multiplayer feeling as it is, and I've answered this before, I really want to answer it again, probably a little bit better, a little bit more tighter, and lots of different rumours are spreading around about how the multiplayer will be. And people are going, it's going to be some massive MMO where you can survive and there'll be hundreds of millions of people, and then other people saying it's going to be a lot smaller, like Minecraft. There'll only be a number of people per server, and it's not going to ever get to a size where it's hundreds of people in a galaxy or so on, so there won't be combat on that massive scale. And I think there is pros and cons for both of them. If they do go big, with the sort of go big go home attitude, then it's going to be very interesting. But the other time there's going to be a lot more work, a lot more stress testing, a lot hard things to actually develop into it. And moving on to the more simpler Minecraft sort of style things, obviously it'll be a lot easier to develop, but you're not going to have that massive large scale. I mean, I believe Minecraft servers went up to 64, I can't be too sure, someone will have to tell me below, but I believe that is quite enough really to be playing in some areas. It depends how big the worlds are. If the worlds go on forever, then you'll probably never ever see 64 of them people, to be honest. You'll only be seeing yourself and maybe a few of the guys that you decide to meet up with. Moving on to that, meeting up with people Will you start together, or will you start far spaced out in space? I mean, it'd be nice if you could group together and start straight away all at the same spot. It'll be like a crashed ship. Some people were saying that you have to mine and then get resources, but I mean, there's so many possibilities as how they could do it. There's no true answer to that. But that's pretty much it for Monday's mailbox. I've tried my best to answer many of the questions. Many of the questions are about things that I couldn't give an answer on, really. They're just things that I could speculate about. And obviously this is what it's about, giving my opinions, as also trying to get you some facts. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.